Hi everybody, so straight in today, no messing. The car's very nearly finished and I'd like to get it outside so I can get the SLK back in again because it's been a while since I've done anything on that and that really needs to be my main focus. So what have we got left on the list? Well, the diff was the last thing. That is still under the car. That's the first thing to do today, bolt the diff back in place again. After that, the lock adapters, extend the lower arms and get the steering angle kit complete. Fit the handheld fire extinguisher, that's a 10-minute job, so I might as well do that as well. Let's put a star next to that. And swap the ECU for a reflashed, which I haven't bought yet. What I'm going to do, jack the car up with the back. Well, it already is jacked up with the back. Once all these other jobs are finished, and see if the thing will hit the limiter. I think I'll disconnect the two rear ABS sensors, leave the front two connected, leave the ABS and everything connected, and just see if the thing in gear will go to the rev limiter. If so, I haven't got a problem. I've been told with these that they require the speed signal or they go into limp mode, so we can figure that one out a little bit later on today. But that is the list of things to do. Let's get going. Right, so I'm under the car. I pushed the diff out for a second. This thing is a pain to work on. Probably one of the worst cars I've ever taken the diff off, to be fair. So we've got this brace thing under here. I assume maybe it has to catch the prop if it falls off, or maybe it is just a brace for rigidity. I'm not really sure, but the bolts that mount the diff in place, I mean, it's going to be a pain to try and get them threaded to get a start to do them back up again. I managed to undo them and sort of chase the diff out and undo a little bit more, but this brace needs to come off, which means these covers need to come off, and I don't think I'll put them back on again because I can't imagine this car ever going back on the street again. And just to fit the diff in place, obviously it's them two bolts there and then this mounting plate bolt here. So as far as actually fitting the thing, it isn't too much of a problem. It's just this brace which appears to bolt up. I'm not sure, there's a cover over it, so I have to remove this cover and then see if I think it is actually bolted through the subframe, so I think it's a part of the subframe mount. Anyway, let's remove some covers and pull that out of the way. that's the diff all done. Bolted back up in position again. Everything tightened. Actually remembered to do the drain plug back up again so it doesn't leak everywhere. So, this brace. Never seen one on a BMW before. I've built 3 e36s and various practice days many years ago. I'm gonna leave that off, I think, unless there is a reason for it to go back on again. If you know, let me know in the comments. I can't see it causing a problem, but somebody might know better than me. So yeah, right, next thing on the list, 21mm spanner under the front, try and get the lower control arms off. So as I'm converting to e36 arms, the end of the e46 arm is a hexagonal shape, the end of the e36 arm is a round shape. So what was the company that made these? They're on eBay. Duraflex. They do a bush that fits in there that converts to the round e36 arm. So pulling them in there is going to be fun. But they're out. I haven't damaged the light pot mount too much. Sort of scored it a little bit with the reciprocating saw, but that's good enough. Right, let's try and pull this thing in here. Right, so I've done the extension far too wide, I think, because the disc, I don't know, try the wheel on. First thing though, why people, companies design things so poorly. I mean, this plate could do with just being a little bit wider and then the nut would go on there, but as it is, I've got to grind that down. So, yeah, I suppose it's not a major problem, but if it was me, I would, on first test fit, realised that was going to be a problem and just adjusted the cut file to suit. But there you go, here's what it is. Let's cut that down. That car as well, I would go with that being just about perfect. Obviously the steering arms aren't attached or anything yet because just need to get the arm extension the right size first. So for a guess, I'm really quite pleased with that, and the camber doesn't look horrendous. I will just measure that before I go any further. And if the camber's not too bad, I think we'll let's stick with that. What have we got like clearance wise? Right, there's clearance there for absolutely tons of lock. Yeah, first point of foul is actually the body at the front, so yeah, I'm not sure how much angle these knuckle adapters give you, but I wouldn't imagine that much. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. In fact, I'm very happy with that. I thought I was going to have to cut and move that to get the right amount of clearance, but the guesswork was perfect first time round, which makes a change. Right, let's measure the camber. So, level on the car, not perfect but close enough, and I have got this cheap camber gauge I bought from eBay years and years ago. Probably not the most accurate thing in the world, but saves paying for alignment. You can do everything yourself. What you need to do is zero this thing out against the wall first. Away from the lights. So find a surface that is level, which the wall isn't. We'll figure that out. Yep, that's now saying 0. So now the gauge is zeroed out, just in case, putting on the disc. What have we got? 4.5 degrees, 5 degrees. Like I said, this thing probably isn't accurate, perfectly accurate, but that's going to be within a degree. from previous experience messing around with these cars, I've gone right up to, I think I had 7.5 degrees of camber on one car. Didn't stop very well in the straight line, as you can imagine, and it wanted to pull onto lock all the time. So the wheel, as the wheel goes through its rotation, the wheel flattens off. So with a lot of camber, the wheel wants to be flat, so it pulls the car onto lock. It's actually quite good like that for lower speed tracks, up to about 50-60 miles an hour. But I've found when you go over 60 miles an hour, 70-75 miles an hour plus, then it's extremely unstable. It wants to pull the car onto lock really, really quickly. You end up palming the steering wheel to try and slow it down, and it's just not ideal for high speed tracks. For this, yeah, it's a little bit more than I like. 4 degrees of camber seems to be the sweet spot for my driving style, how I like the car to feel. But you know, you've got certain limitations. There's no offset top mounts. I could make some if I wanted to. I've done that previously with e36s. But for the purpose of this car, it's a nice sort of balance. I'm happy to sacrifice a bit too much camber to create less trouble, if you like, less work and less expense. It just needs to do the job. So I'm happy with that. So I can finish off them arms, replicate with the other one, and bolt everything back together again. that's one lower arm near enough complete. I'm going to put a couple of plates on the side, but I just thought I would show how much longer it is over standard. It's not, again, the tidiest thing in the world. 4mm plates should be plenty strong enough. So that's the only sort of major concern. With the extra plates on the side, I can grind it all up and paint it matte black, and you wouldn't really notice it once I'm done. So grind this one up, finish that off, and then replicate on the other side. So that's one lower arm complete. I'll put the plates in the side to give it a little bit extra strength and make it look a little bit tidier. Not that it looks brilliant, but I mean, it's joined, it's strong. That's not going to break or bend. So yep, just the other one to do. But that is me done for today. I'm going to extend the other arm probably tomorrow morning. Won't film that because it's the same process all over again. So yeah, you know the score. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all soon.